local, late breaking. This is WBAL TV 11 News Sunday morning.
Welcome to 11 News Sunday morning. I'm Lisa Robinson.
And I'm Sarah Caldwell. Our top stories in just a moment. First, we want to take a look outside with meteorologist Tony Pan.
Hey.
Tony.
Good morning, ladies. Not a perfect start for us. We have a little cloud cover.
Is the leader in safety. Hyundai's the best, so you can forget the rest. The best in quality, best warranty, plus Hyundai's get 40 miles per gallon. Sonata's only $199 a month. Tucson's just $259 a month. Hyundai, the choice America's making. Visit your Baltimore Hyundai dealers today.
Welcome back. The time's 7:13. It's 39 degrees on TV Hill. In this morning's medical alert, new research suggests you may be able to protect your memory by taking care of your heart. 11 News reporter Erica Edwards has more.
Rising blood pressure doesn't just raise a red flag for heart disease. Hypertension could also signal the possibility for early memory loss.
Can you put the hands in?
French researchers followed thousands of adults in their 50s for a decade. Those who had typical cardiovascular risk factors like higher blood pressure and cholesterol levels were more likely to lose their memory earlier and at a faster rate. The exact link is not clear, but cardiologists aren't surprised.
It's probably an inflammation, an irritation of the lining of many of our arteries, the linings of our arteries to our head, to our hearts.
The Mayo Clinic's Dr. Stephen Kopetsky estimates high blood pressure, high cholesterol, even smoking and obesity may give the typical patient a 1 in 5 chance of developing dementia.
It's not very high, it doesn't seem, but if it happens to you, it's 100% of you.
The problem is likely to grow with the aging baby boomer population.
Once you reach age 65, 95% of us meet criteria for high blood pressure.
Taking care of the body now may save the mind later. Erica Edwards, NBC News.
Cardiologists say you can cut your risk for heart disease and memory loss with 4 lifestyle changes. Don't smoke, stay at a healthy weight, there we go, exercise, and eat at least 5 fruits or vegetables per day. By the way, registered dietitian Marie Spano is here to show us the top 3 tips we need in dining for keeping your heart healthy.
Yes,
right?
it's Heart Health Month.
Only 3 tips, right? So we'll keep it simple.
Tips. 3 main tips.
All right.
And you know, for years we were told to go on a low-fat diet, watch the amount of fat we consumed, consume those fat-free foods. Now we know that wasn't the best suggestion. Remember that back in the 90s?
Yeah.
Because what we did is we replaced all the fat with higher sugar products that really didn't have a lot of nutrition value.
Okay.
And then people started gaining weight.
So low fat isn't where it's at.
Low fat's not where it's at. But the dietary guidelines, which were just released last month, did emphasize that we want to be aware, not place an emphasis on total fat, but the type of fat we consume. Specifically, we want to be aware of those solid fats, butter, shortening made with partially hydrogenated vegetable oil. We want to take these out of our diet, minimize them, and replace them. It's all about the replacement strategy. So, for instance, if you love butter, you can use a soft spread. Those are always a better option than butter. Promise has 70% less saturated fat than butter, and it's made from poly and monounsaturated fats, which are healthier, according to the dietary guidelines.
All right.
You've heard a lot about olive oil.
Yeah.
Olive oil is fantastic. It's a great...
I'm glad you're still saying that it's fantastic because so many things have changed, but olive oil, still a good thing to use.
Still good for you. The thing about olive oil people don't realize, it's best for low heat or no heat applications. So if you use it to make a salad dressing or dip your bread in, not a great high heat oil. Can't withstand the high heat, it breaks down.
Okay.
Another fruit-based oil, though, palm fruit, Malaysian palm fruit oil. These 2 products both contain it, and that is actually a cholesterol neutral oil, and it can stand high heat. By cholesterol neutral, I mean it has no effect on your cholesterol levels.
Okay.
So it's great for high heat applications.
Now, what kind of flavor, though, are you going to get from this?
That's a great question. Not much flavor at all. It takes on the flavor of your food.
Okay.
So
excellent.
Yep.
And then produce also, we've always heard that that's good.
We've always heard,
especially.
And you just, you know, five a day at least minimum. And the different colors, excellent to include in your diet. You know, again, this was emphasized in the dietary guidelines because of the antioxidants. Nuts are another great source of antioxidants. Those are salt-free.
Okay.
But the American Heart Association recommends that one of the antioxidants we really want to look for, it's a category of compounds called flavonoids.
Okay.
It's in 4 foods, mainly in the American diet. Tea is one of the top choices. Black, white, green, and oolong tea, not herbal tea. It's not really tea.
Okay.
Great source of flavonoids. And what flavonoids do is they decrease platelet stickiness and they enhance our blood vessel functioning.
Okay.
Another great source, and you said you're a soy lover.
Love it.
Soy
Tofu.
foods, yep. So soy milk, tofu, edamame, great
Miso.
source. Miso, great source of flavonoids. Onions, interestingly enough, are another great source of flavonoids. And wine, so you can have a little wine now and then.
Okay, good. And in terms of flavoring your food, salt is definitely a thing you always want to kind of cut down as much as possible.
It is. You know, they really hammer down on salt in the dietary guidelines. And, you know, I always thought sodium, especially for people with high blood pressure, we want to stick to a teaspoon or less per day. If you have high blood pressure, less than 3/4 of a teaspoon in all of your food combined. And a higher sodium diet leads to high blood pressure. But a recent study found that even one high salt meal can impair the ability of your blood vessels to open up, widen to accommodate blood flow.
Wow.
Even in people with normal blood pressure.
Interesting.
That
Okay,
totally
so
surprised me.
You really have to pay attention to that. And there's so many foods that can be good for you, like nuts, but if you have too much salt in those nuts, not so good.
Yep. So to watch your sodium, you know, definitely become a label reader. Look at labels. Luckily, manufacturers are making so many more low sodium and no sodium foods. Become a label reader. Season your salt with something different. I've got Mrs. Dash over there. It's salt, sodium, MSG free, 14 different varieties. So start to season your food with different you know, seasonings.
Great advice. Thank you so much, Marie Spano. And you can check Marie's website for more information. Just go to www.mariespano.com. What's in style for spring? Find out when we get back. But first, a look at some events going on around town.
This portion of 11 News is brought to you by the Maryland Zoo in Baltimore.